that is not true. Mexican people did not help invent hip hop. I'm sorry, that is not true. Mexicans, as you said right here, influenced hip hop. That is not the same thing as an invention. That's not the same thing as a foundation. That's not the same thing as literally creating a genre. Popularizing a genre is also not the same thing as inventing it. And I'm going to give you a metaphor. But before I do that, I want to clarify that I am a sociologist. This material about cultural relics and cultural artifacts falls squarely within my field, and I actually happen to take quite a bit of courses about music and music theory, and specifically know a lot about Black music. And yes, it's true that there were Latinos present during the invention of Black hip hop, but those Latinos were Puerto Ricans. They were not Mexicans, and at no point did Mexican people help found hip hop. And you have to ask yourself what cultural appropriation is, so that you fully understand what the point is that I'm trying to get at. Cultural appropriation isn't just taking a cultural artifact and using it. If that was all Mexican people did, that really wouldn't be a problem in most cases of cultural exchange historically. Like, we see this throughout many different continents and through many different regions, because it's an equal exchange. I give you something from my culture, you give me something from your culture. But what's happened with hip hop is a mass commercialization and very little credit and money going to Black musicians. And this includes the theft of like everything: lyrics, beats, styles, just different ways of synthesizing the music and turning it into electronic or acoustic. Even the way that it was mixed was culturally appropriated at a variety of different times by a variety of different people. And this is not new to the Black community. This has actually been the case since the inception of Black music. Literally, since the beginning of the slave trade, we literally saw that white people would make their own versions of Black music so that they wouldn't have to associate with Black people to enjoy Black music. Now, I'm gonna talk about corridos. Imagine if white people...
The video that I showed you was based on the creator that had responded to me, because I had seen the video of hers and I left a comment and she responded in video format. Now, when I had made the comment, I had said that I 100% agree with everything she said except for one thing. Now, the video no longer is up because she said that somebody had taken it down because it was reported. And so my original comment is there and I don't have access to the photos of this. Now, I did ask her to send me a photo because, you know, I wanted to show you guys. But I didn't get everything, so it's kind of still hard to show you guys exactly my comments, you know, but we're gonna work with what we got. Okay, now when she said that, you know, now when she responded to me in the comment section, she had said that I said I don't listen to non-Black rap, and you said, to which I responded, and you said this: Latinos help create hip-hop. That's what I said. Latinos helped create hip-hop. I never said Latinos created hip-hop. I said Latinos helped create hip-hop. And she goes, to which I responded that they were not Mexican, they were Puerto Rican. Then you went on a tangent about Chicano hip-hop, to which was invented based on Black hip-hop, which is why I responded saying Chicanos culturally appropriated hip-hop, and you responded with the comment I tagged. And that proof is right here, so you guys can see right here, okay? I know my phone is messed up, but I digress. So I had responded and said, no, I'm speaking about my other comment where I talked about the Chicano things. I made a video, but was thinking about editing in order to show my full message. That's what I said. And then she said, girl, it was a long tangent that did nothing other than imply that Mexican people are entitled to make Black music. And this is literally exactly why I did want the photo of my comment, because I wanted you guys to see and me to see word for word what I said, instead of just the interpretation of what somebody, you know, read. However, she did provide me with a little bit of what I did have said, so let me read that part, okay? I had said, in the East Coast, the very beginning of hip-hop, Puerto Ricans helped create, but in the West Coast, Mexicans helped influence hip-hop culture too. And that's where my comment gets cut off, so you don't even get to see the rest of my comment, where I did say that Black people obviously invented West Coast rap music. However, Mexicans still did help influence what we now call West Coast rap music. And I said, for example, Lowriders. Lowriders is a perfect example of how Mexican people and the history in how they influence the United States, how it's always erased and overlooked. But more specifically also about Latin American people, because Latin American people in general are always ignored. Their history is always erased, and their history is even, people even lie People even go out of their own way to lie about Latin American history because they want to rewrite history so badly, and they do not want to give credit ever to Latin Americans. And Lowriders is a perfect example of this. Lowriders came from Mexican people because they invented lowrider culture. But now lowriders is, like I said, a symbol of West Coast rap music because black people then adapted the culture of lowriders, and now they also use lowriders. And in Chicago, I always see this. And guess what? Mexican people aren't upset. Mexican people aren't like, oh my God, cultural appropriation. Oh my God, give me credit. Oh my God, how dare you? No. Life goes on. People continue. Nobody, not you, not anybody else that want to culture appropriate police will ever stop people from naturally doing what humans do, which is share each other's cultures. We've been doing that since the beginning of time, and we're going to continue to do that, whether you or other culture appropriating police officers want to acknowledge that. That is the reality. After World War II, Mexican people decided to use their benefits from what they got from the military, and they decided to buy Chevys. They decided to buy Pontiacs. They decided to buy Buicks. These cars that Mexican people bought were used already, and they were used from the 30s and 40s, but they wanted to buy these. And of course, you're not Latin American unless you use colors and are creative and are artistic. So what did they use? They customized those cars. And that's where that culture started blooming from. And like I said, I never, ever said that Mexican people invented rap or helped create or help invent hip hop. I never said that. I specifically said that Mexican people helped influence West Coast rap because that is the truth, like I have already pointed out. I really did not like how you twisted my words, and you even in your title, you said Mexicans did not invent hip-hop. Sorry. Who are you saying sorry to? Because I know it's not me, because I never said that. And in the beginning of your video, you also said this again.
Mexican people did not help invent hip-hop. I'm sorry, that is not true.
So why would you even have to say sorry? I never said that, so I don't understand why you're saying sorry. You even acknowledged this and said influence hip-hop. That is not the same thing as an invention. And obviously, and this is why I said the things that I said when I made that video about Mexican OT and him saying that N-word. Why did I make those statements? Because of stupid things like this. Because of one Mexican person. He does drugs already, so he does not even respect his own body, his own mental health. What makes you think he's gonna respect other people? So because of this one person, we're dividing one another. And at the same time, in this interview, the two black women, Cleopatra and I think it was Angela Yee, who were interviewing him, guess what? People were upset that they did not fight him. Right here, they're looking nice. Cleopatra's looking nice. She's just addressing a man. And she even pressed him even after she asked this initial question. Yet people were not happy about it. People expected more from them. They don't have to do that. And now because of the actions of this one person, now we're demonizing other Latin Americans. Newsflash, baby. White people are not the only people that are racist. Black people are also racist to Latinos. And guess what? Black people are also influential in Latin American culture. What, should we now tell black people, oh, no. You cannot continue influencing our culture. You cannot participate in our culture. You cannot. No, that's dumb. That's stupid. The action of one person does not mean that everybody else gets to be punished. I never even said, oh, I only agree 10%. No. I said I agree 100% with everything else you said. I just don't agree with this. Because again, Latinos have always been influential in the USA, whether you like that or not. That is just history.